radar intercept officer for the Marines when he got shot down. And I was standing next to another Marine, walked up, and I says, that guy is a Marine? And the other guy told me, reserve. Yeah, there were fun movements. And,
What was your most challenging thing adjusting back to real life after
being
7.5
able to
years?
concentrate longer with somebody and not being distracted. Because, as I said, people coming in that were new were a source of information. So when I got out, and there were people around, if any movement would distract me, because that was possibly something new. And so for a long period of time, I was not, even to this day, I sometimes have trouble concentrating on one person at a time. Yes.
How long were you in the service for?
27.5 years. So, besides the time in Korea, I went through flight training, Korea, got back into a maintenance squadron, went to maintenance school, became a maintenance officer in the Air Force, then got out of that by going to AFIT, the Air Force Institute of Technology, to get a BSME, mechanical engineering degree. That led me into the missile development phase for Titan 1 and Titan 2. I was a project also in the launcher system for the Titan 1 and the silo door system for Titan 2. And from there, back through the flight training and over to Okinawa, and doing which eventually into this nice airplane. Oh, incidentally, we flew the F-4 and the F-15, but on the deck at high speed, there's nothing that can do better than this airplane. High speed on the deck.
Other than your optimistic behavior, what do you think got you through the 7.5 years?
Well, remember, the 7.5 years was accumulated behind me. Everything that was going to happen it could happen tomorrow or within a week. So I never had the feeling that it was going to be a lengthy experience. It was always possible things clear up in just a moment where somebody had figured it all out and gotten things.
So like hope.
Like that. And the guy I was with, Larry Garino, Ray, my next door neighbor, who's sitting, that's a homicide detective, by the way. Don't get his attention. But he read Larry's book. Larry has had a disposition where he's either extremely high or extremely low, and always in transition between the two. So I was in the position of trying to hold things a little bit level. So that helped me too.
What program did you go through to commission into the Air Force?
Went through aviation cadets. I was in the Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point and decided that that wasn't what I wanted, so I got out of that and had taken what was required then, the entrance exam for studying law, and had been accepted for St. John's University in New York to go to law school. But that was between May and September 1950. And that's when the Korean War started, and I was hung out to dry in between these things. I was not in school, and so I was prime draft bait. So I applied for, was accepted in cadets, went through into as a basic airman at Lackland, and then from Lackland to Bartow, Florida, going through 6 months in Florida, 6 months at Williams Air Force Base, and then up to Nellis for combat training, and over particular area.
Colonel Kemper, you have one last question?
Yeah, were you married at the time and how did, what was the outcome for your family?
My wife and 4 sons were on base at Okinawa when I got shot down. The twin sons, who were, one of them incidentally older than Colonel Peoples. But, they were just about going from 1st grade into 2nd grade. I came back and they were close to the end of high school. So I missed that. I came home. I was home for just about a year and a half when my wife died from cancer. And then I met, married a widow from up in Massachusetts. So I now have I have now 2 daughters that she had. So 2 widowers got together.
All right, well, let's please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much.